Hey crafty people, it's Tasha, welcome to my channel. Today I'm hopping with WoW to celebrate the release of the brand new Heritage Quad with Seth Apter. Stick around to find out how you can win a goodie bag of Seth's mixed media embossing line, including this brand new quad. I've already got large swatches of each colour that you can see me make over in our intro video on the WoW channel, which I'll link above. I've also got some sparkles and earth sparkles, a sentiment strip from our Fab Foilers, some double-sided adhesive, 2 leaf die sets, and I don't actually use the stamp set in this video. I've selected some of my favourite dies from the 2 leaf die sets, and I'm going to start cutting them from my embossing swatches. Whenever I get new powders, I always create some swatches first because they're always going to look different when heated than they do in the jar, and this way I can really get a feel for each powder. Now I can die cut these leaves directly from my swatches, and I'd love to say that I have a plan of how they're going to layer up at this point, but I really don't. So I'm just randomly cutting some from each colour. Then I also cut some from cardstock with that double-sided adhesive on it, so I can cover those ones in the sparkles and earth sparkles. Plus I cut some from vellum too for an extra contrast. Actually die cutting them all is rather repetitive, but I've got my trusty mini die cutting machine, so I just cut everything down into chunks and work my way through. Now is a really good time to let you know about the giveaway that we're having to celebrate the release of our Heritage Quad. We're giving away not 1 but 3 prize packages of a selection of Seth Apter's mixed media embossing powders, including the new Heritage Quad. To enter, I just want you to tell me in the comments below which is your favourite, and be sure to drop the emoji that you can see on screen into your comment. You'll find everything you need in the description box below, including links to the other couple of videos in the hop. So, with the magic of YouTube, I've now got a whole mix of different shapes, colours and textures, and I'm going to layer them up. And you can see exactly how I went about layering them in my video over on WoW's channel. I ended up with 6 layered leaves, which I separated into 2 sets of 3. And that's going to give me some to use on 2 different cards. So now I can work on the background for this one. I want a warmer toned background for this one, so I've grabbed one of my Catherine Pooler inks and I'm taking it directly to a panel of Nina £80. Now I'm going to tear a strip from it, but I can't do that until it's dry, so I'll set it aside, let that dry. I'm also tearing a strip of vellum too. This is quite a thin vellum though, so it is going to be quite subtle on the finished card. And I'm tearing rather than cutting because I really want that added texture that the torn edge gives. Now I want my sentiment strip to match the background colour, and WoW's Fab Foilers take inks so well. Now, Catherine Pooler inks are really juicy, so I can just ink it straight from the pad. Then I can just give it a wipe off to get any excess ink off, and again let that dry. Now I haven't foiled this one, I've just left it as it comes in the pack, but this is also going to work if you foiled the sentiment already too. My inked panel is dry enough now to tear. Now if you tear from the inked side towards yourself, you're going to get that white cardstock core showing on each edge. Sometimes I like that, but I decided that I don't want that for this design, so I turned it over to tear again, and this gives us torn edges without the white. Now, I want to make sure that this coloured strip is thinner than the vellum one so that I can layer it on top. I'm just using some liquid adhesive to adhere those two together, and then I can put these straight onto another A2 panel of Nina £80. I just left the vellum strip too long so that I can just trim it off to the edges once it's in place. I'm lining up my leaves straight across that strip, and I'll adhere the middle one with liquid glue, but pop up the other 2 on some foam adhesive. Now, honestly, that's for 2 reasons really. Firstly, it's going to make it much easier to layer my sentiment strip over the top of the middle. Secondly, it would be really fiddly to cut little bits of foam to sit behind that open leaf, and I'm just really not in the mood for that today. So then when I adhere my sentiment strip with a piece of foam adhesive as well, it's going to balance it out nicely with those raised leaves on the outside. And that's my second card using our heritage quad all completed. If you didn't see me making the first one over on Wow's channel, then be sure to check that out. I'll have it linked below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share with your crafty friends to enter the giveaway, and make sure that you include the emoji that I gave earlier in the video. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Have a lovely, happy, safe and wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.